Welcome to Real Estate Essentials. I'm Jay Deher. On today's show, Zach from Huskiez is going to give us some landscaping tips, and our designer Bengt is going to show us how he transformed a fast food restaurant into a student housing foyer. So be sure to stay tuned. All that and more coming up right after this. I'm Jay Deher. I've been on top of Utah's real estate market for over 10 years. I will show you things about this market that you never knew.
Jay, I wanted to bring you out to Riverton, an existing home that we have that's grown in over about 5 years. We're always showing you new landscapes, so you don't really see the plants at their full maturity.
Yeah,
so
as they're mature.
We always talk about water-wise plants that grow well here in Utah, and I've got a lot of examples here that we can show you.
Okay,
the first one is the 9-bark. It gets
why do they call that a 9-bark?
The bark peels off, so it's kind of like 9 lives for a cat. It exfoliates. We can get that here in a minute. The flowers come out white, but then they turn to this reddish color after, so it looks like it flowers twice.
Oh, really?
It really has a good contrast. Loves our soil, loves our heat.
Really? And so it just grows like crazy?
Correct.
Okay, good.
Let's go over here to the red twig dogwood, which is a native natural plant to Utah. You see that up in the mountains a lot when you're hiking with your family.
Yeah, this one's bearing like crazy.
Right now, this is a beautiful specimen. Again, it loves our alkaline soil. It doesn't stress in the heat. And you can see we actually probably need to prune it back here in a month or two. It's going to outgrow its space if we don't take care of it.
Okay, good.
Another one I like, but is somewhat invasive, which means it'll spread and take over its area, is the yarrow, this yellow flowered one. I've noticed, if you take a look at this, if this leaf, it's called fuvescent. It has fur on it.
Oh yeah.
You see that?
Really cool. Wow.
So that, I've noticed plants that have that fuvescence, they're a lot more drought tolerant. They can withstand the heat and less water. So that's something to look for in a plant. If you don't necessarily know the plant itself, you can see that fuvescence, and it'll do well in the heat.
I've never heard that term before.
I learned that at Utah State.
Yeah, okay, good.
Another tree here I like is the purple beech. This one grows calmer like a skyrocket. It's a different color other than green.
Yeah.
So it
nice
adds
contrast,
that color
right?
balance and contrast to what we're doing in the landscape. Right now we have more of a natural look. So you'll see plants that are growing together. They kind of go from different colors, and you've got highs and lows. And that's the theme we are going for in this yard.
Yeah, looks really good.
Just adding to the landscape simple things like this flagpole behind you. You know, you probably didn't notice it, but it's a way to, support the country. You could put your favorite team on there. What's your favorite team?
Yeah, the Eagles.
Oh.
You hate the Eagles?
Yeah, like the Eagles.
I like the Eagles.
How about San Francisco 49ers? You got it.
I'm okay with the 49ers.
Okay.
So tell me about this plant over here.
This one is...
It's got a lot of bees on it. Why is that?
Well, you want some pollinators, they call them. Some people are afraid of bees, but if you need plants like this to pollinate your fruits and vegetables.
So you literally put this one there because you want to draw the bees in, because the bees love that.
They'll pollinate the rest of the plant. You'll get more flowers on your plants, and then your vegetable gardens, your apple trees, your pear trees, all those things will get more fruit on because of the pollinators.
Because of that.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
You don't want to be afraid of the bees.
You need the bees.
Yeah, you don't want all of your plants to be pollinators, but you want a couple.
But you don't want beehives necessarily.
Correct. So put them sparingly in your yard, but you need to have them. They're a must.
Yeah, that works.
Another really, really neat tree I like is the Japanese maple.
Oh, that's a beautiful tree.
I
really like it.
A bloodgood. This is another one.
What's that mean, a bloodgood?
It's just the common name of it. It's the variety. So when you ask for it.
The color then, huh?
This is just a small growing tree. It's in a nice microclimate. A microclimate is a little area in your yard that's going to be shaded a little bit more. It's going to be protected from the wind. It's usually against a house in a nook or a cranny that if I planted this in the middle of my yard, it would probably stress out and burn up. But because it's next to the house, it's only getting about 2 to 3 hours of hot sun instead of 8 hours of hot sun. So remember, You have shade-tolerant plants, you have sun-tolerant plants, and then you have the ones in between that'll grow well if you put them in the right little microclimate.
Yeah, that's really cool. I really like this. What would you call this thing?
This is Carl Forster.
Carl Forster.
It's a grass. It gets its name from the gentleman who
like a tall grass.
Yeah.
Reminds me of something back east. It would be on the beach or something.
This one, honestly, we've planted it everywhere, and as soon as you water it in for a week or two, it just grows. It's like you can grow it in concrete and diesel.
Really?
It's incredible. So this one's about ready to be thinned out. You could make about 6 or 7 different grasses out of that. So you could give them to your neighbor, plant them again in your yard. So you don't always have to go out and buy new plants. You can thin them out.
Oh, really?
You can hear the water feature. It's always a good option. Go up and touch it, and I'll show you how it works. If you touch that thing,
how does it work if you touch it? Am I going to get shocked or something?
It's just like one of those faucets inside, right?
It turns off by the touch?
Yeah.
So to turn on by the touch then? How does that work?
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle
it's
fountain.
It's simple technology. You can get these
so you got that in your pocket. And
yes.
You're, okay, I got it.
Making me look dumb. No.
Yeah, making me look dumb. Okay, I got this.
So you don't have to go and flip a switch. You can just plug this in to the outlet. When you want it on, you want to hear it inside or come out on the patio.
So where do you get stuff like that?
Sprinkler Supply has them.
Oh, really?
Escape sells them, and it's great technology. Simple to use, and you just plug it in right in the line of the water, the pump itself, and it'll turn it on and off.
Really? That's really cool. So what else you got for us?
Love hollyhocks. These seed themselves. These are all from last year. These will reseed, these little seed buds. They'll just drop on the ground, and then you'll get them randomly throughout your yard.
Yeah, I see them all down there.
Yeah. They're a little bit invasive also, so you have to be careful with those. Once again, we have the...
Yeah, but that's a nice plant to be invasive with, right?
Yeah, I love that. I like the natural look and let it to grow wherever.
Yeah, just let it do its thing.
Let's go over to this tree, because people always ask me, they feel bad because they kill a tree off or one's struggling. I'm okay with that. That's how you gain a better green thumb. This is an 80s FRASER fir, and you can see it stressed out a little bit, but this is this year's growth. We've got about an inch and a half of growth, and I've root pruned it. I've put some fertilizer on it. I've watched my watering. They're hard to grow here, so it's a challenge to me to keep this alive. Sometimes it gets burned up in the freezing temperatures of the winter. That's a lot of times why the needles they look dead, but they're not actually dead. They just got burned up. We have secondary water out here, and sometimes the salt content in that secondary water, evergreens tend to stress over the secondary water, so you have to watch that too. So sometimes I come out and just water this with the culinary water, the clean water, and you don't want it too wet. Most of the time, evergreens like to be more on the drier side, but they do need quite a bit of water at times.
So this one basically is a challenge to you, right?
That's for me it is, yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool stuff.
Let's go around the back here and I'll show you some more.
Okay, good.
Oftentimes, our clients come to us at the most challenging and difficult times in their lives. We found that at these difficult times, what really makes a difference is knowledge, and that's where we come in.
Jay Deher here, host of Real Estate Essentials. Are you thinking about selling your home? Well, I can feature it on the program and move you for free. And be sure to tune into Real Estate Essentials every Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock, only on ABC 4 Utah. So Darren, we are headed down to Holiday, Utah, and look at that view. Is that not incredible?
Great view, great area of the state, I think.
Yeah, Holiday is a beautiful area. The way it nestles right up against the mountains there, this is a beautiful, beautiful property. So this one's got quite a few square footage. It's 6,485 square feet. It has 6 bedrooms and 7 baths.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can never have too many bathrooms.
That's right.
Never.
Especially for a house like this. It's like an entertainer's type of house, and boy, those never go out of style, do they?
No, especially with big families around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we talk about, take a look at that kitchen, and when we talk about, you'll hear us talk about this like an entertainer style house. And when you look at the front room and how it's all connected here as it spins around, it's got a big, huge kitchen.
and then it goes out into kind of your living room, and then it's got a place for your baby grand piano, and then it's got also your dining area, because when people entertain, it seems like in parties they always congregate around kitchens. It doesn't matter what happens, and the way they've got their deck outside there, this is the entertaining part of this house. The grand piano with all those incredible views, and their television, places to sit, places to eat, places to go outside, places even right here to enjoy that incredible view.
Yeah, and the music, everything, right.
It's got a nice built-in sound system. It's up in the mountains, it's quiet, it's peaceful. This is an incredible property. A property like this is one that when they built this house, they went to the lot and they would have studied this and designed the house around the lot, and you can tell by those big windows they have everywhere, and they perfectly look out into views. And so this one, they really went into a lot. This is one of those classic houses where they had the incredible lot and they put an incredible lot on it, or a house. And then the other really nice thing, and what they did real cleverly on this one, is the landscaping. A really great job on the landscaping on this one, the way they tied it in and made it seem like it was part of the mountains.
Right. Yeah.
You get that? Isn't that great? So when you walk outside, you've got all these beautiful trees, and from every window you're looking out just like you're up in the mountains without that amazing drive. Yeah,
and I love the view through all those windows. I love that.
Yeah, you got to have that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, especially at just a little over $1 million, at $1,149,000. I mean, they had the money. Luckily, they were able to put in some really nice landscaping.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, so they're sitting on 0.31 acres, so that's about a third of an acre. But as you can see, there's nobody in the backyard, so it doesn't really matter.
Right, feels like the whole mountain's yours.
That's right.
Yeah.
And as you look up, it's all mountains and all trees. They did a tremendous job on this one. I always love good houses. You know, I hate to say it, but I don't think half of our market's filled with good houses. Not even, but generally, don't get me wrong, I'm not a house designer by any means. But, it's always fun when you get to list and sell really nice houses. That's what makes this job exciting.
Well, it appears that somebody put a lot of thought into this place.
That's right. A lot of details.
Yeah.
I love that. And so I love to show these. I really like how they put this garage on the ground level and then hid it around the side. And so as you're coming up to the house, you don't see any garage. Just
yeah.
Yeah, so you see the beautiful landscaping, you see the beautiful house, the garage is hidden around the side, then it flows nicely into the backyard. Look at that incredible landscaping. They did a great job on this house. Tremendous views, obviously.
Jay Deher here, host of Real Estate Essentials. Are you thinking about buying or selling a home? Well, if you list with me, you move for free. And be sure to tune into Real Estate Essentials every Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock, only on ABC 4 Utah. So Darren, you've been working on your yard. How's it coming?
It's been a lot of work. Yeah, I've been working on my yard. Actually, funny story. Last fall, I planted a whole bunch of grass via seed, put a lot of work into this. Yeah. Well, anyway, so in the fall, it kind of started coming up, and then in the spring it came up. I thought it was coming up pretty good, and as it turns out, it was all weeds.
It was? So you saw the green starting, and then it...
Yeah, it was a lot of
weeds. It didn't turn into grass.
Yeah. Anyway, so...
Well, what happened? Why?
Well, so I talked to Zach on the show, actually, a little while back.
Yeah.
He was talking about how important it is to have a good seed bed for your seeds to go in. And I'd realized that we had really smashed down the topsoil that was there and only brought in a little bit of topsoil on top of it. So
you had nothing to support it, so it couldn't grow.
Right.
And so what do you do?
But the weeds could grow.
So what do you do when you grow a bunch of weeds?
Well, so what I did was I got a big tank of Roundup and just got up one morning and went out and just sprayed all of my brand new grass with Roundup. That is the cruddiest feeling in the world. It's very strange.
After all that work and in the fall and putting it all together and so excitement for this, excited for the spring. And then it ends in Roundup.
It did. It ended in Roundup, and my wife just kind of. She's a real good lady, so she...
we have professionals for that.
Yes, we do. And in fact, what's happened now is I've been able to get the seed bed soft and prepared, and I've got it reseeded, and boy, it's coming up really good now. So thanks to Zach, I was able to, get my grass going. So, but you got to do it right the first time. Otherwise, it could just cost more. And
yeah, it'll never fix itself. It'll just get worse and worse and turn into what a mess.
Yeah.
So on the show, we're always transforming houses and making them different. But let's take a look at what Bengt Erlandson has done with a fast food restaurant.
We're here in Orem, Utah at Wolverine Crossing. It is a student housing complex, and our client came to us about 6 months ago and wanted to relocate their leasing office into this space behind us. It used to be an old restaurant, and they wanted to appeal to more of a younger crowd. So let's go inside and take a look at what we did. Before we renovated this space, and the first time we saw it, it was a chain restaurant that had been closed down. It was problematic from an interior design standpoint because it was dark and dreary and it was cold and uninviting. Our new client wanted it to be very inviting and fun. And we refaced some of the columns, we made them a little smaller. We also redid the concrete floor and put some warm carpet tile and some porcelain tile. We also worked with some warmer colors and some more inviting finishes as well. We converted this old chain restaurant, which was cold and dreary, into a warm and inviting leasing space for students.
Every month when Susan gets her power bill, she gets a shock because the power bills continue to steadily rise month after month. Susan is a mom, a wife, and a smart woman. She found Solar Tech Solutions. Susan made an environmental and economical decision. She installed a solar power system that saves her thousands every year. If you can afford ever-increasing power bills, you can certainly afford your solar power system. Get your free energy consultation today and switch to Solar Tech with nothing.
Cindy in Draper wants to know, we're looking to buy a home and our credit isn't so hot. We have great income though and not much debt. The credit thing is really holding us back. What options are available for people like us? We are sick and tired of paying rent. That's a great question, Cindy. Let's go to our credit specialist, which is Ike, and see what he's got to say.
Hey Jay, what's going on? You know, it's funny that you say that. I hear that all the time. Think about it this way. If you have $10 million in your bank account, you're logging in every day to make sure that you still have your money. But if you're broke and you have no money at all, then you never want to check it. You never want to look at the negative balance. And kind of the same thing applies to credit scores. When people feel they have bad credit scores or low credit scores, they never want to look at it. They never want to pay attention to it. And oftentimes I see clients who think they have to have perfect credit scores to be able to get into a home. And that simply is not true. Lots of programs out there that pay attention to you with scores as low as 620, and 640, including FHA programs as well. So if a client comes to us and they have a 580 or 590 and they're 20, 30 points away from living the American dream, the first thing we want to do is look at their credit and make sure that everything that's on there is accurate and has earned the right to be there. And so, you know, it's really, really important for people to be paying attention to that details, but it's just absolutely not the case that you have to have a perfect credit score to get into a home. Now, of course, those are the requirements right now, you know, 620, but as such, those requirements can change in the future. We don't know what's going to be. Maybe the federal government lending parameters just change and they become higher. But for those that have less than perfect credit scores, this is certainly a great time to be taking a look at your credit and getting into a home. Does that help? Great. Great. Well, just call me if you have any questions. That's what we're here to do. We're here to help. It's good to talk to you, my friend. All right. We'll talk to you later.
Let's go back to Zach and take a look at that backyard of that house.
This is my own backyard, right? We're here. I wanted to show you how I entertain and utilize my space here in my yard. So we have our square foot gardening.
And when they say square foot gardening, what does that mean?
You just take a certain square, 6 or 8 inches, and just load it with the plants that are going in there, so you get less weeds, and you can
control it better.
Amend the soil better.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So come this way, and we'll kind of show you why we do things a certain way. It might give people some creative ideas or whatnot to use in their own yard.
So tell me about this. This is a bush or a tree, or what is this?
Weeping mulberry. I planted it 2 or 3 years ago, and now it's too big for this space. We're going to transplant it. My wife needs it out of the way.
Is that hard to transplant?
It is. You've got to do it at the right time. You got to give it the proper amount of water. So we're going to probably wait till fall when it goes dormant to do that.
Yeah.
But I planted it there because the sandbox is behind it, and we wanted some afternoon shade for the kids when they were playing.
Yeah, makes sense.
Correct. So you'll notice a lot of fruiting plants and vegetables around the playground area. So when things are in season, I can tell them go pick the apples, the pears.
Yeah. Or they can just grab it right off the tree.
Yeah, that's what I want them to do. So that instead of it falling on the ground, they can eat it. The pear tree's cool because it has 4 different varieties of pears on it.
How's that possible?
They graft in 4 different varieties into into 1 liter, and you have different type of Asian pears on there.
That's crazy.
No,
I've never heard of such a thing.
It's awesome.
That's cool. That's a great idea. And so what's this one here then?
This one's our apple tree. That one's not doing so great this year. I think we had a late frost. We only have 2 or 3 apples this year, but that happens sometimes.
The kids pick them out and say, that's my apple and don't touch it? Is that what they do?
My daughter will come in sometimes with a raw apple that's not really ready to go. I'm ready to eat it. Well, good luck with that. Yeah. Grapevine along it's kind of an artificial fence. It's not really holding anything back, but it's something for the grapes to grow on with our arbor above it.
Yeah.
And let's go over here. I want to show you one of my favorite trees. The one behind here, the reddish one, is called a tricolor BEECH. That's my absolute favorite of all time.
That's really a cool plant.
Right now it's 2 different colors, and it'll turn a 3rd color in the fall. So that's where it gets its name from. It dries up a little bit in August when it gets really hot, but right now in the spring it's just a shower.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It's fabulous.
Very
Behind
nice.
you, we have the red twig dogwood again.
Yeah, these grow like crazy.
You're going to see that throughout the yard.
Yeah.
And then put in an outdoor, in-the-ground trampoline for the kids to walk on. Jay, the best thing that brings us out to the backyard is our outdoor living area or fireplace area. Let me show you that.
Let's take a look.
You notice we kind of screen it off with a natural green hedge. This is a fine line buckthorn that'll grow straight up, and then
that's really cool. I really like it.
Maples.
And so you've put the perfect walking area into it, and you got your fire pit and your extra wood on the side. This is perfect for the family, right?
Almost every weekend we're spending out here with, when the wind's not blowing, to do the fireplace, the s'mores, and have our family activities out here.
That's awesome. Man, you've got everything in here. Is there anything you've ever been...
Almost everything.
Yeah.
In doing landscaping, I always come across the newest ideas and technology of what to put back there.
Yeah.
An outdoor sound system is something that we were lacking. So
you can become real popular lately.
Oh yeah, and they're wireless. You can use it on your phone, and you start playing your music You got to be careful though. You don't want to play it too loud with the neighbors.
Yeah. Well, let's go take a look.
Yeah, let's go look at it. Chad from AV Systems is just finishing up here. We're going to put the controlling unit here in our shed, so it's nice and close. We've got Chad here with AV Systems.
How you doing, Chad?
Hey, pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit of what you guys are working on here.
So the system, it's an audio system that's unique, and we can create audio through the entire space. Whether you have a small backyard or a really large backyard, the unique feature is that it doesn't matter. We can recreate music through the whole space.
And so is this, so as you put a sound system in your backyard, is this going to upset the neighbors?
No, another component to the design of it is that it's directional. So your neighbors won't get interrupted even if you turn it really loud.
Oh, really? That's awesome. Yeah. Now, what about installation? Is it hard to do on these things? Or
no, it's actually quite simple. It takes one wire that can daisy chain speaker to speaker to speaker. So later on, let's say you decide you add on a certain portion, you can actually add speakers out there very, very easily.
Oh, really? That's awesome. Well, how does it work? Do they come over here and press the buttons, or what happens there?
In a typical system, yeah, you would. But it's really simple. You actually do it right from your smartphone.
So with this system, you just actually pull your phone out and start the play from your own playlist?
Correct. I'll demonstrate it. So I've got music on my phone. Make sure I'm connected to the Wi-Fi here, and now we're playing. A couple button presses, and it's
very impressive. That sounds really good. The bass is incredible. Now, tell me about the subwoofer, because it looks like a mushroom or something over there.
Correct. That's a unique part of the design of it, or a key component to it is the subwoofer. It's actually really large, and we bury that into the ground to create that.
Buried in the ground.
Correct. Yeah, you dig a big old hole 4 to 5 feet deep and bury that thing in there, and that's what helps create that sound quality.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Hearing's believing. It really makes that difference. So.
Well, thanks for coming. It's good
Pleasure.
to meet you. Well, thanks for tuning into this week's show. Now remember, real estate's all about local knowledge and timing, and that's what you get here at Real Estate Essentials. Hi, I'm Jay Deher. Not only am I the host of ABC's hit TV show Real Estate Essentials, but I'm also one of Utah's top realtors. List with me, and not only will I put your home in front of thousands of buyers, but my moving team, Wasatch Moving Company, will move you and your family into your new home for free. So list with me and move for free. And be sure to tune into Real Estate Essentials every Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock, only on ABC for Utah.